All right, guys, we picked up another one, and hopefully we can make it back. I probably overpaid for this one, but this one is a real S-Box. I can't wait to show it off. We're taking the back road because it's probably not safe to drive. I don't know what I really just got myself into. We have 183,000 miles on it, a cracked windscreen, but it runs and drives. So I got a 30-mile drive. Let's see if we can make it back. Oh, and it's a 5-speed. And the clutch slips a little bit. So today I picked up a 2007 Chevy Cobalt, and this one has definitely seen some wear and tear. So let's see what a $300 Chevy commuter car gets you in a Rust Belt state. Welcome to another Box Spotlight. So here we are. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this was GM's attempt at replacing the Chevy Cavalier. And I'm not sure if people ranted or raved about these things. I don't really know a whole lot about them. All I know is I used to have to do a lot of stuff on these engines, those Ecotechs. But I think somewhere right around that 2004-ish era, this was GM's commuter car, the Chevy Cobalt. Now this one is going on almost 20 years of age, so it's definitely seen some things. I mean, just this lower rocker portion alone doesn't even exist anymore. It's like a pretzel structure right here. Yeah, there's nothing left. Wow. And I better throw some gloves on for this one because this one has a little cancer on it. Now this is a really bad part, and this is where the structure actually bolts to the body, and that looks really rough, but we're gonna have to see more up on the hoist. But even in the wheel wells, you can see it took a beating right there. You got a bunch of bubbles right here. The bumper looks to be possibly falling off closely. Same thing on the driver's side, it's bubbling up here and starting to rust away. And same thing with this rocker too, it is gone. Oh man, she is a rusty one. Other than the rust, all the 20-year-old paint looks to be holding up pretty decent. The headlights have clearly been replaced because they're not all yellow and hued. These are actually nice and shiny and clear, which is convenient. However, I'm pretty sure you're not going to win a car show with a car that looks like this. Let's pop inside and see how basic the interior is. Now, for whatever reason, I gotta be honest, I get more excited about basic things than all the bells and whistles because you can't get a car with just basic anything anymore. But this one has all the basics. You had manual door locks, so there's no power switches, even for the back. So you actually had to reach in, unlock it from the back, and then you could open your rear door. You had manual mirrors, if you wanted to move your mirrors, and you had a crank window. That's actually really cool. Now, same thing with the seats, no power options. Everything has to be moved manually. And this cushion feels like it's ready to pop off, but just really basic cushion seats, you know, something like a lawn chair. And same thing in the back too. You just had your crank windows, the regular lock, and then the same basic fabric foam cloth seats. Yeah, nothing to them. And now this one came with a standard transmission, not even an automatic transmission in this thing, but we still ended up getting the AC option in 2007. So that was a banger option, I bet, back in the day. Oh. And also a CD player, which I'm informed that only one speaker works. Now I got a steering wheel cover on this thing. What does it look like underneath it? Ugh. This is gonna be a chewed on steering wheel. Come on. Ugh. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got the nice sun fade or whatever ate the top of the steering wheel here. Probably your finger juices. You got a power socket here and a power socket here. That's convenient. And 2 cup holders. Now the mileage on this thing, we're sitting right at, let's see here, 183,363. And also looking at the steering wheel, I just realized this thing doesn't even have cruise control. No cruise. However, we did get a power trunk option right here. Look at that. Anything good in the trunk? Ah. Nope, nothing. But just enough space for some subwoofers in the back, right? See if there's any goodies in the glove box. A lighter, a charger. But check this out, a bill of sale. Let's see how much they paid for it when they bought it. So it looks like the guy traded in a 2000 Pontiac Grand Prix with 127,000 miles on it for this 2007 Chevy Cobalt with 6,800 miles on it. And out the door it ended up being $10,286.25. Would you guys have paid $10,000 for a Chevy Cobalt back in 07? Gotta ask yourself. And we got the original Chevy Cobalt owner's manual That looks like it's been puked on or something. Pretty gross. All right, let's check under the hood. Let's see what we are working with under here. Ah, yes. The 2.2 liter Ecotech. And this is back when they had all the plastics on the engines, which, I mean, I guess they still do now, where you couldn't even get access to the engine. You had to take all the chunks of plastic off. For example, look how big this shroud is. Ah, look at this thing. Why do we need this? I don't know. Now, I remember these engines did have some problems, with the timing chain skipping and stuff like that. You had that water pump that was really funky down there. Actually, I think I even still have that tool. Here was the water pump tool you use to put in the gear, because the water pump actually runs off the timing chain gear set on these engines. Kind of a funky tool, too. And I noticed on this one, we found ourselves a nice mouse nest again. These things are like in literally every car I buy now. This one also had the lovely Dexcool coolant in the thing that people refuse to flush, and they would have all sorts of corrosion issues. Let's check to see if it's been maintained. Pop open the air filter quick. And it's white. Come on. It's a little dusty, but it was on a gravel road, so. Somebody cared a little bit, I guess. Never mind, look at the dust. Dust cloud. And I remember these went to a cartridge-style filter here, and you had to have the special socket for that as well. And it's buried right here, so you'd have to try to weasel this thing down in here, get your extension on it, and then bust it out. And I remember having to buy this thing. Wow. Now I see a random fuel line just hanging here, and the story I got from the guy was he had to buy this thing. It was going to be junked, but the shop that he took it to said we could just put a fuel line in it and try it with a plastic line, which appears what they did. Here, let me show you. Right here looks to be the original fuel line, and this is the alternative route here. And we do have like this nylon setup that goes right into the fuel rail right here. But pretty much as you see, this is as basic as it gets. It's like a go-kart engine in these things, and there's just nothing to them. They were just actually super easy to work on. I don't think they made a lot of power. I bet you these things only put out like maybe 140 horsepower, maybe 150. And they had the Cobalt SS, which actually has like a supercharger. Those kind of put some power down in like the low 200s, which, I don't know, for a commuter car with a turbo, it probably ripped for being a young kid. But let's get to the part that I'm dying to see. What's the underside look like on this thing? Because it is probably going to be very rusty. Let's get on the hoist. All right, so this might be even sketchier than the Honda Civic to lift, so crossing my fingers it doesn't fall off the hoist here. Yeah, I'm gonna put a stick under this one. So this is the main support of the vehicle, and yeah, there's nothing left. I tried to lift on this axle arm, but yeah, there's nothing left. And then this is the passenger side. Holy crap. And I just realized this side, it's really not even attached anymore. That's probably why I was all over the road coming down the gravel road. This axle's probably just flopping in the wind. And with that being said, let's crawl under this thing and see what it looks like. All right, and even in the back rail, look at this. It's just falling apart. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this thing is real crispy. I wonder what it would be like if you got in a car accident with a car this rusty. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just like mock crash this thing and see what happens. See if it actually crumbles on it. Wow. And then what the heck is hanging down here? Oh, this is the fuel line. Nothing sketchy about that, just dragging on the ground. Oh, look at this. What did they do? I wonder how long it's been like this. Well, that's I wouldn't want to ride around like that with the fuel line dragging on the ground. Jeez Louise. I guess do whatever. Now the front didn't get it as nearly as bad as the rear did for the rust situation. Even this cradle has got some surface rust on it, but it's nothing compared to the back. And I will say I'm impressed with this engine. There's nothing leaking from it. It's got 183,000 on it. It's looking really, really good. Maybe there's a little bit of seepage from the oil pan, but I mean, that would be hard pressed to do anything to it. And even the radiator and the condenser are nice and straight. Wow. But to be honest, all this stuff kind of looks original. I don't see any replacement anything. You got a converter here and then a back converter there. A little eco-friendly Cobalt. And it appears that all these exhaust mounts are busted. One right there, One right here. So this exhaust is just kind of dancing right there. I think it's just held by this back one. Yeah, it is. Just this one right here and this one right here, and they look like they're gonna break. But it appears the tires, they must be winter tires, and they don't look terrible. Toyo Observe, I think that's what it says, Observe, something like that. Directional snow tires. Yeah, and all of them look pretty dang good. They're not all worn out or anything, so that's a plus. And the clutch does slip a bit on this one, but man, this thing looks like the easiest clutch job to do. There's like nothing to these things. And another thing I just realized, this is a manual steering rack. No power steering on this car. Talk about a basic biatch car, man. That's pretty cool. And then there was the back of the water pump. So you actually had that little spot and the timing cover right there. And you could get access to it and put that tool in there and squeeze these pumps out the back. And then that O-ring and that tube would always leak all the time. Kind of a weird setup how they did it like that. And this one has secondary air injection on it, so I'm curious to see what the emissions are. I wonder if this is like a California car or if it's just, maybe they all had that. I don't recall. Now, as much as I want to say this thing is just a huge POS, I honestly think that if it wasn't for the rust, this thing would still be trucking along because the engine looks good, and I don't think anything's actually ever been done to it. And even the steering on it is nice and tight. There's no like uneven wear on the tires, so no doubt in my mind this thing would still be on the road if it wasn't for that rust. Which means there's not much left to say, so let's see if this thing can at least do a burnout, right? All right, let's see what she got for a shop burnout. How come I've never done a shop burnout? Today's the day. Let's see what it does.
What the hell is even that?
All right, round two. Holy crap! And it spun both tires. That was sweet. All right, if it's able to do that, we might as well take it just a little bit off-roading, right? See, my track still exists back here. Whoa! Oh, it's sketch. Oh! Oh, whoa! That was a tree branch. Oh, whoa! Oh, tree! Woo! Oh, that's a ripper. One more. There you have it, another POS that Mother Earth wants to reclaim. This thing's pretty shot. But hey, it can still do a burnout. And if you're interested in some experiments, that's what this car is gonna be because there's no saving this one. It's pretty well shot. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the love. We'll catch you in the next one. Adios.